routine weekday. Wake up very early in the morning. If I have some emails to answer, some work that I do, I spend about an hour of that. That's around between 5 and 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, it's getting the kids ready for school. So lunch boxes and PE kits and swimming kits and all of that. And then it's work. We had a vacation last year with the kids and we went to Japan. It was my first time to that part of the world and it was really interesting. And I enjoyed the culture, I enjoyed the people. They're just very polite, very tidy, very clean, and the landscape and the history is just amazing. It's something that I hadn't been exposed to. And surprisingly, the kids enjoyed it. I mean, they enjoyed Disney, they enjoyed Mount Fuji, and a lot of bonding with the kids, so we had fun. Philippa Gregory is my favorite author. I have no idea why I enjoy her books, but you know, she takes history, like British history and Tudor history in particular, and brings it to life. You just suddenly know the history of like Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn and so on. But it's a story, it's less of a history and far more of a story, and I've just read pretty much all her series on the Tudors, so yeah, I'd say Philippa Gregory. So I used to love soccer and I used to be a left wing, but the current schedule and kids and so on, I really don't do much of that. What I do try to do with my husband when he motivates me enough is we do some jogging and then some exercises in the room. And we just got our smart rope, and so we're trying to count things. But yeah, I give credit to my husband for trying to keep me in shape. So I'm not really a coffee person, I'm more of a tea person, and I try to have 1 or 2 a day, just kind of to keep me on my toes during the daytime. I would say on average about 8, but it really depends on whether I'm on call or not. A lot of the times when I'm on call it's far less, and certainly now I get my chunk of 8 where I feel rested in the mornings, but when my kids were younger it was definitely far less. On a personal level, it would be my kids. It's funny because as a mother, the smallest things that they do make me happy and make me feel proud, whether it's my daughter and her cross-country record or my son and his handwriting. I think on a professional level, it's finally making it and being a cath lab director. It just really makes me feel that now I can be a role model for other young women and they know that it can happen, it's reachable, and we can get there. So in terms of my career, I would say it was people like Dr. Roxana Mehran and Cindy Grimes and Marie-Claude Maurice. You just see these women, they're powerful, they're knowledgeable, they're there shoulder to shoulder with the men. More importantly is that I saw that these women, for example, Roxana Mehran has her own family, so you start to understand that it isn't an either or. It's, you can make it happen, you figure it out with your own family and your husband and so on, but it can happen, I mean, and you can work it out. In terms of home, it is always going to be my mom. She has always been my champion, always pushed me. Every time I get a degree, be like, okay, what's next? Every time I achieve something, be, okay, what's next? And yet she's also the same person that keeps me grounded, nudges me either way. So when I first had my son, he was preterm and I spent about 3 months at home with him just so we make the turn, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that my daughter comes back from school and I'm there and she tells me all of her stories and we eat together, and I wanted to extend it. But she's the one who nudged me to, no, you don't need to extend your stay at home. Your son is doing well, you have a nanny that's reliable, get back to work. And the same thing, when I'm spending a lot of time at work and she's seeing that it's starting to affect how much time I'm spending with my kids, she nudges me the other direction. And I would like to be that kind of a person for my kids, but also for my friends and my neighbors and my families, just to kind of give them that little nudge that they need. It was the first time I had come back from the States after my fellowship, and it was the first speaker invitation that I got. It's amazing, it was in a small city, it was in a small hotel, it was in a small audience, and my dad came and he was just so proud, in spite of it being something that was so small. And he was always my champion and always encouraged me with whatever successes, and no matter how small they were. And then he passed away. After he passed away, I started to get invited to bigger meetings. And I so wished that he was there, seeing me at a podium in international meetings, big Congress halls, and speaking to multitude of people. So, Dad, I'm doing it. I hope you're watching. I enjoy languages, and I think perhaps I probably would have taken that track, something that has to do with languages, maybe translation or something in that area, but I certainly enjoy languages and cultures and history.